Hi everyone. Today we're going to try to tie we're going to be tying a fly. It's an olive golden retriever. I learned about the golden retriever after sorting through a fly tying catalog from Thoreau's Flies up in Stacyville, Maine. In the catalog, he referenced a lot of the colors, certain materials and their colors were used for certain flies, and he mentioned his golden retriever several times, so I did a little research and found out about the golden retriever. And once I used it, first time I used it, I had good luck with it, and I was very successful with it whenever I tried it. But looking at it, I saw something in it that appealed to me, and that was the underbody showing through the main body core. And I tried tying one with a peach-colored body with a olive underlayment, and that was okay. Then I tried this, one of the materials is Estes UV Lights. This is in an olive. It's the glisten gloss fibers, but the Estes UV Lights, and this is olive color. This is the main body part. Anyway, the fly consists of that olive Estes, some olive marabou, little lead wire, and I like to use 3x long hooks, 8, 10, and 12 size hooks, and also have little beads. I already put the bead on the hook because I figured you didn't want to watch me stumble around for half an hour trying to get the bead on. So we wind a little thread on, and then we get a little bit of fine lead wire, which will wrap about halfway down the body, then start to wind forward. This gives it a little weight up front. This isn't the way I wanted it, so we're going to start over. Of course, we break the lead. We're doing good here. Having a heck of a time today. Not really the way, but right now it'll work. So what we'll do is we'll wind this little bit of lead down so it keeps it in place, and wide crossings so the fibers that I'm going to lay on top don't fall through it. The original golden retriever called for the lead and the thread to be red. Right here we're using a sort of an bright olive thread, and I'm not winding it to really cover the body. You don't have to, because the marabou that I'm going to be using for the tail will also be used as the underlayment for the body. There's no need in tying a lot of thread on when you can have marabou do it for you. So we're going to take a bit of marabou, get a little bit longer than the hook shank, the flat shank. I'm going to tie that in. This looks decent, but we can shorten it a bit. I think it'd look better if it was just a little shorter. And then we're going to tie in a little piece of this olive Estes, UV Lights olive Estes. We'll tie that in toward the tail. Doesn't take much because this is not wound on the body tightly. It's a loose wrap, so this olive will show right through. This fly is going to be, how good this fly looks is really comes to life when you see it in the water and actually pull it out when it's wet and take a good look at it. You can see like we got a little static electricity to boot here. So anyway, so we're going to tie, even though we tied this, the Marabou in, we're now going to try to get this back toward the S-Tez and then wind it forward. So now instead of having a thread underlayment, we have a olive Marabou. And we'll wind this down. There, now our body has the underlayment for this stuff is olive Marabou. Next, if we can get this static electricity under control, we'll wind the S-Tez forward. But we're going to use some pretty wide turns. We're not going to put them side by side. We just wrap this on. It's a good pair of scissors. This S-Tez is pretty tough stuff. So we'll wind it on, wind it down good here. Get our whip finisher. Go to school on how to use a whip finisher. Then we'll be back. We got it under control here. We'll say one thing, I hadn't used a whip finisher until about 3 years ago. I've been tying flies for over 60 years. And I wish I had been stubborn enough to learn how to use a whip finisher a long time ago. Now I'll use it for everything, for all the flies. But I will say one thing, for years all I did was use half hitches. Use like 3 half hitches on the head of every fly, and I probably could count the number of times that the fly came apart over all those years. 3 good half hitches will do the job in most cases. But anyway, that's it. It's a very productive pattern. I'm only showing this video because I found it to be really good. Hopefully you can tie some or buy some somewhere. But I suggest you give it a try because it really worked well for me on trout and salmon and also smallmouth bass. The smaller, this size 10 is good. 12 is really good on the native trout, and of course 8 would be a little bigger. You know, you can tape it down in size. I've also tied some of these with orange for the tail and for the underlayment, and olive over the back. But this is the one. The UV lights is the one to use. They have a pearlescent olive, but that's too much pearl, too much reflection. It just doesn't do the job. Anyway, hope this helps. Thanks a lot. Bye. Anyway.